So you can hear me loud and clear. Give me a thumbs up. And I'd really like this session to be as engaging as possible, everyone. So the idea is not for me to just speak and speak to myself. The idea is, I speak, you respond, you interact, you engage, you drop comments, just react. Let me know that, yes, people are here, everyone can hear me, and people are listening to me. Now, this session today promises to be worth your time, promises to be informative and also insightful. I can see Jacqueline is already excited, so I'm as excited as you are, Jacqueline. So thank you all so much for joining us. If you check out the topic, you see that we're discussing how you can land a job in the UK, especially those jobs that do not make it to the job board. Thank you, John. This ginger is coming in hot, and I really like it. Thank you, everybody. So those jobs that don't make it to the job board, they are the things, or they are the jobs that we're going to be discussing today. So I will be sharing my screen real quick. Oludare, I would also take questions as we proceed. But for now, let's just get to know ourselves. So just type in the chat where you're joining us from. I would really love to get to know you, right? So I can already see your name. So just type in the chat where you're joining us from, right? And the tech career path you've taken a course in. So I have my eyes glued to the chat. So where are you joining us from, and what tech career path have you taken a course in? I would really like to know that. Now, while you're typing, John is joining from UK. John, you forgot to type your career path. So what tech career path have you taken a course in? I would really like to know that. So while we are typing that, like I said earlier, this conversation today is going to focus on how you can find those jobs that are not posted on job boards, not just LinkedIn now, right? Not just LinkedIn, right? And I'd like you to take a look at it from these two angles, right? The job market in the UK, right, is pretty much like in two layers. And I would really say it's everywhere. It's like in two layers. The first one is the public market. That's where everybody has access. Everybody's applying, job boards and, maybe via LinkedIn. And there is also the one that is the hidden job market. And that's the one that works perfectly. That's the most effective one. And that's the one we're going to discuss today. So like I said, I'd like to get to know you and the tech career path you've taken a course in before we dive straight in. So Jacqueline is joining from the UK, and she has taken a course in business analysis. Thank you. Bimpe Sanusi is joining from the UK, and she's taking a course in business analysis. Inumi Dumpo, UK project management. Oluwatobi joining from the UK project management. So keep it coming. Kennedy from Kenya, data analytics. Promise, data analytics UK. Oludare, business analysis UK. Amazing. So just keep typing and keep it coming, everyone. Like I said, I have my eyes glued to the screen. Now, I would like you to invite 1, 2, or 3 more of your friends, colleagues, or family members who live in the UK also, have been struggling to land a job in tech, and you know that this session will be informative for them. Because at the end of the day, the more information you have, the better and smarter you're able to make those decisions, right? So you're not applying blindly. Because at the end of the day, we put in so much effort to apply to jobs, but we don't get results. And we think that, okay, is it that there is something you're lacking? Is it that there is something you're supposed to be showing that you don't have yet? Sometimes it's just the information that you don't have enough of, right? And when you don't have enough information, it affects how you prepare and how you position. Now, in order to prepare very well and to position right, it's very important to have the right and the necessary information. So I'll share my screen right now so that we can get started, and I'll introduce myself as we proceed. So thanks to everybody who has, done so well in introducing themselves. Like I said earlier, I would like you to keep it coming. For every other person who is here to introduce themselves, my eyes is still glued to the chat. So I would like for you to introduce yourself as we, proceed. So this session is going to be for about 1 hour, 30 minutes. And like I said earlier, it promises to be worth your while. So my screen is coming up right now, and we will just get straight into the conversation. So Sheil is joining from the UK. He has taken a course in data analytics, business analysis, software engineering, cybersecurity, and project planning. Sheil, only you. That's a lot, and that's amazing. Howard is joining from the UK. Master student in big data and data science. Amazing, thank you. And then Meadow Bini data architect. Beautiful. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. And like I said, this session is not going to be a waste of your time. It's going to be worth your while. So if you have friends, colleagues, family members who live in the UK and have taken tech courses and are still struggling to land a job, please share the link to this session with them, because it is going to be very, very helpful to them. And trust me, you'll be doing them a lot of favor by sharing. Sandra, I can see your hand. I'll take questions as we dive in, right? So just don't worry. Any question you have, you can feel free to jot it down somewhere, because like I said, I will be taking questions as we proceed, right? So let's move straight in. Just a minute. Okay. Just a minute. I'm trying to see why I can't scroll from here. Let me stop sharing and start sharing again. Let me just stop sharing the screen and start. All right, so I'll go back to sharing the screen. So it's coming up right now. I think it's back up. Yes, we're back. Okay, so yes, as I was saying earlier, right, the conversation is going to be on how you can land your first job in tech. That's your first tech job. Let's be very specific, right? How you can land your first tech job in tech and in the UK, right? And where to look for these roles that don't make it to LinkedIn. We call these roles the hidden job market roles, right? So how do you find these roles? Is it possible to find them? Do they even really exist? Yes, they exist, and that's what we're focusing on. So before we get straight in, let me introduce Amdari to you. If you're just joining Amdari's session for the first time, can you type 1 in the chat? And if you've joined us before, give me a thumbs up, right? So this is your first time, type 1 in the chat. This is not your first time, give me a thumbs up, right? Just give me a thumbs up if this is not your first time. Okay, Jacqueline has joined us before. Amazing. I mean, we have a lot of newcomers also. Promise has joined us before. Awesome. Okay, just keep it coming. I see we have a lot of newcomers, so I'm seeing that. So yeah, just to introduce Amdari to everyone who is hearing Amdari for the first time, who is coming across Amdari's session for the first time. Amdari is a platform that helps you gain real-world experience in tech, in career paths like data analytics, data science, data engineering, business analysis, project management, SOC analysis, ethical hacking, and GRC. So we help you gain real-world experience working on actual business challenges in these fields, right? And the reason why we do it like this is because gaining experience is a must-have in tech. Right now, we've seen a lot of things change. The playbook, especially for getting a job in tech, has really changed compared to how it used to be a couple of years ago, as far back as 2021, where you typically have maybe 100, 1,000 applications for your role. Right now, it's times 2, times 3, right? And with that much application in the pool, what are the odds of you getting a job? Obviously, you need to do more than just knowing how to use a tool, taking a course and everything around that, or even taking random projects or projects on Kaggle or platforms like that, right? You need to do a little bit more. And by doing a little bit more, I'm talking having actual business problems that you have solved. And that's exactly the problem that Amdari is solving for professionals. Your ability to have an opportunity to solve real business problems that sets you up to get a job. That's what Amdari gives you. Now, we focus on this career path because they are some of the highest in demand career paths right now. I'm not saying it's limited to this. I'm just saying they are part of the highly in-demand career path in tech. That's all these ones that you see on my screen. And that's why when I was asking a question earlier, I said, if you've taken a tech course, type the name of that course. I wanted to see the alignment before we have at Amdari. I know somebody typed DevOps. I think that was John, right? So sadly, we do not have DevOps at the moment, but John, trust me, this session is still going to be very impactful for you, right? So, but essentially, we just help you at Amdari to gain real-world experience through internship, and I'll break down how that works out. And beyond just internship, beyond just real-world experience, we also prep you for the job through on-the-job support, interview prep session, CV revamp, LinkedIn optimization, as well as giving you a reference letter. We all know how important reference is, especially when it comes to you getting a job in the UK. They want you to have a reference from another, UK recruiter. Just somebody to back up your claim of what you've done and where you've done it, right? That's just what they want. So that's what we're focusing on today. So the topic, like I said, is how you're going to land your first job in tech in the UK and the 1% mindset, right? Because it is at the end of the day, honestly, your direction is kind of fueled by your mindset. So where you focus and how you put in the work and energy is fueled by your mindset. So we need to take a look at that. What's that mindset that you currently have that is acting like a blocker, that is, hindering you from getting that job? We're going to address that. And then I'll give you more details about the Amdari Work Experience Internship Program, like I said, and we have a special offer. And I'd really like for you to stay till the very end of the session with me, because like I said earlier, it's a session that promises to be worth your while. And if you have any friends, family members, or colleagues in the UK that you want to benefit from this session, please share the link for them to join in, right? We've had a lot of people recommending their friends to Amdari just because they've experienced Amdari also firsthand, and they know that, Amdari can give me this much impact. It is definitely going to be good for my friend. It's definitely going to be something I should share with my family member, right? Now, at the end of the session, I would also be sharing this slide and also link to over 133,000 plus companies in the UK that are currently sponsoring. It's an updated list, right? So I'll be sharing that list. If you'd like to receive this list, please fill the attendance form that my colleague is dropping in the chat. It's just going to take about 1 minute of your time to fill that form. So please fill the form, and he is going to send you an email that contains this list, right? I am also going to be sharing the slides this session so that you can also watch and listen to some of the interns at Amdari that have gone ahead to even get jobs in tech. So yes, this internship is beyond just you coming in to gain experience. I mentioned the different aspects that will support you, and this support is what ultimately helps you become super solid, and then you're able to get a job even in the course of the internship at Amdari. But like I said, I'll save the best for the later time. We're going to get into that definitely. Now let's focus on the topic of the day, right? Getting a job in tech, going beyond LinkedIn, going beyond the available jobs on the job boards, right? Now, if you're applying to jobs via LinkedIn alone, you're actually using a losing strategy. You're not using a winning strategy, because when it comes to getting a job in tech, there is so much more that you can do in terms of not just leveraging your skill, but also being the only one competing against yourself. Is it possible? Yes. And I will explain what I mean by that as we get into the session. Now, before we get straight in, I'll do a brief introduction of myself. I know I've been saying a lot, but you don't really know much about me other than, okay, her name is Omaomi. So yes, my name is Omaomi Victoria Samson. I am one of the co-founders at Amdari. I am also the Chief Technology and Business Officer at Amdari. I have my background in software engineering, project management and marketing, as well as business analysis. So anything that has to do with tech entrepreneurship, I am super interested in it. Anything that has to do with human capital development, I am super interested in it, because I know how that has also played a role in me transitioning into tech and landing my first job in tech, right? So again, Amdari was actually built from a place of personal pain point. We took a course in tech, we transitioned into the space, and then we realized that that course is not enough. You need to have a solid foundation, and having a solid foundation means practicalizing, applying what you gained into a real world scenario, right? Because without that structure that exposes you to a team, exposes you to reporting, exposes you to presentation, you will not be able to develop some soft skills that will help you stand out during an interview, or that experience and exposure that would make you very convincing during an interview. So going through internship was my own opportunity to get my first job in tech. And it's a very similar and familiar story for the two other co-founders at Amdari, that's Ifemena and Adeza, who I'm also going to quickly introduce to you. So I've worked in edtech, film tech, and marketing. And like I said earlier, as long as it has to do with human capital development, I am super interested. Now, this familiar pain point is also something that Ifemena is very, very conversant with. Relocating to the UK, trying to get a job in the UK, working in the warehouse for a couple of months, years, and then getting his first job in tech, all thanks to also pushing and gaining experience as a data professional in the UK. And then he was able to secure his first role in tech in the UK. Again, all thanks to being able to gain experience through an internship. Now, this is how Amdari internship really sets you up for success, because we are building this from a place of personal experience. We know how important it is for you to have experience. We know it's a must-have, not a nice to have, right? And because companies are not readily providing internship opportunities. In fact, when we started Amdari, typically we would try to partner with companies and say, oh, can we place 1, 2, 3 people with you? And it came with a lot of disappointment for these people, because some of the companies that we've already agreed with and had conversations with would come back and say that, yeah, we know we said we're taking 3 people, but can we just work with 1 person? Oh, we know we said that we're going to pay salary, but we can only do stipend right now. Oh, we know we said we're going to pay salary, but we can't actually do that right now. So if they are willing to just intern for free, oh, we know that we said we have a support system, but right now we don't have anybody that can micromanage an intern or something like that. So much of such, message, and we had to go back to the people we've told that, oh yes, we've gotten a place for you, to say that they can only take 1 person, and oh, Sandra, it's not you. That's disappointing, right? So we had to set up the structure at Amdari, and we told these business partners, what if we build the structure at Amdari, and then you give us this business challenge, and then we assign it to our interns to solve that problem. That way, it's still a win-win for everybody. For the interns, for Amdari, who's willing to make sure that there is access to real-world experience, right? The one that is backed up with actual business case studies, not random, not basic, not practice projects that would not really say much on your CV. That's not what we give you at Amdari. So if Imena has worked across the UK, working with companies in the UK, US, and Canada as a data science contractor, business data support lead, data analytics manager, just to mention a few. He currently resides in Canada, and he has actually helped over 10,000 professionals transition into tech. And when I say transition, I'm not saying gain experience. Sorry, I'm not saying learn the course and all of that. I'm saying take the course, gain experience, and also land the job. The same thing applies to Adeza Suleiman. Similar story, going into the UK, trying to get your first job, and the reality setting in that, okay, you need local exposure, you need local experience. And then he also had to go the route of gaining experience before getting a job in the UK. Also, he has worked across the UK and the US, currently resides in Canada, and he has worked as a data science consultant, data analyst, and also data analytics consultant. And his experience spans across sports, financial services, and edtech. Now, enough of the introduction. For everybody who just joined us, I promise you've not missed anything. We've just been getting to know each other, right? So you're right in time, because I am just about to start the session. So all of the nuggets, all of the tips, they're still in slides and flights from here. So you're right on time. Like I said, stick with me till the very end, because this session promises to be worth your time. I promise I'm not wasting your time on the spot today. Now, I want us to put something into perspective. The fact that right now, the number of job applications has skyrocketed in comparison to what we used to have as at 2021. Like on a typical job application, you would most likely get like 100 in a day or so. Right now, it has increased so much, right? It has gone up to like times 3, right? And it used to be far lower than that. Why this has happened is because now we have a lot more talent in the pipeline, and also in the job market, right? And if you want to stand out, there is so much that you need to do beyond just saying I have taken the course, beyond just saying I know how to use Panda, I know how to use Wireshark, I know how to use Confluence, I know how to use Jira. You need to be able to say, I know how to use this tool to solve this problem, because I have used it to solve XYZ problem for XYZ company in XYZ industry, and this was the outcome. Now, if you're able to communicate like this, you're able to stand out of these many other applicants like yourself. Now, the competition is very tight, because there are lots more people in the job market right now. So for you to stand out, you need to go way past the way the game was played before, and change it, because the playbook has changed. Now the old path is broken, because just saying you know how to use this tool is not enough. Just saying that you've done a project on Kaggle is not enough, and just applying straight up is not enough. It doesn't guarantee anything. There are strategies that you need to apply. You need to have specialized skill, niche down, right? So you've taken a course. And I'm saying this right now before we get to the part where we're talking about where to look, how to apply the strategies. And like I said at the start of the session, I'll be sharing a couple of things with you, right? Beyond just sharing the list of companies that are currently sponsoring in the UK, I would also be sharing a list of visa sponsorship jobs, as well as a list of different places where you can move and the strategies that you can apply when it comes to shooting your shot without just restricting yourself to the jobs you see on the job board. Because again, there is something called the hidden job market, and I'd like you to leverage that. Now, how to become solid? Because when you're applying via the hidden job market, you need to qualify with all of this that I'm saying, right? You need to qualify. So if you're doing it like this, the old way, you even adopting the new strategy will not really help, right? So you need to be that person that has all of this. Now, what am I saying? The old way is getting the skill, taking some projects on cargo, and then applying everywhere. Now, that's an old way. It used to work. I'm not saying it might not really work right now, but the guarantee is now very slim. Now, for you to have a very certain and a strategy that is more promising, right? I would advise you use this because we're in 2025 and you need to have not just a generalized skill, but actually a specialized skill set, right? Niche down. You've taken a course in data analytics. Do you have projects in marketing analysis, right? Or marketing analytics? Do you have projects as a product analyst or as a sales analyst? Now, if you don't have any of that and you're not even sure the different job titles to apply to, you're already just applying blindly. The essence of this session is to make sure that you stop being that person that applies blindly. So that's why I said this is beyond just telling you to apply outside of the job board. This is making sure that you stand a chance to get a response and to get that job when you apply via the hidden job market. So I am not just going to say, oh, this is how to apply via the hidden job market. Oh, Victoria, this is how to apply. Oh, David or Sanket, this is how to apply. No, I am saying this is how to apply via the hidden job market, and this is how to make sure that you stand a chance to get a response and get that job, right? Because I promise you it has worked, and I'll share how this has worked, not just for me, from other people that I know also, right? So we'll get to that. So the essence of this is please do not just say that you've taken the course. It's not enough to say that you've taken the course. You need to also be able to say that you've applied the skill you gained to working on this problem for this company, and this was the outcome, because that way you stand out. Now, not a lot of job postings or vacancies go on job boards. So if you think that, oh, I see lots of jobs on LinkedIn, on Indeed, on Glassdoor, read.co.uk, I promise you there are jobs that are not even making it to these platforms, right? There are jobs that are not even published or out there in the public. Now, the best way to take advantage of these jobs is to be in the radar of the people that are that would hire companies, and I would explain how that works out, right? So being in their radar, because at the end of the day, over 70% jobs are not even on those job boards. And then we have a lot of people who are saying, oh, I'm here to get a job. Oh, I'm here to get a job, and I'm taking a course. In fact, when it comes to people in the UK applying to COS or trying to get sponsorship, they only try to focus on care jobs. But the possibilities that lie when you are that solid candidate as a tech professional, honestly, is a lot. But if you don't know how to go about it the right way, you'll be, just applying blindly. So I would like to break down what I mean by hidden job market before we proceed. The hidden job market is actually that market where those jobs, those positions are not published, but all of those positions are within, right? And the people that have this information are the people within those companies, the people who are within the radar of the founders or the recruiters of those companies, right? Now, if you're not within their radar, if you're not shooting your shot to recruiters, how exactly do you want to stand a chance to hear from these people? So what you have to do is to increase the volume of your intentionality and to job search strategically. When you're doing that, you are already positioning to be that person. Now, how do you increase the volume of your intentionality, and how do you apply strategically? get to that. All of this, we see it as an introduction into the session. Now, those jobs that are not posted, they are filled by referrals. So how many people would you say are aware of your skills? How many recruiters, how many founders would you say are aware of what you can do? Do you have your work out there? Are you publishing? Are you documenting? Right? Do you have a brand document? Do you even have an actual business that you provide solution to within the domain that you're trying to get a job? Because let's say, for example, right, Bingpe has taken a data analytics course or business analysis course, and now she's trying to get a job as a business analyst. Never worked as a business analyst before. This is her first time trying to get a job as a business analyst. Now, yes, she has worked in other sectors with different job titles and the likes, but she doesn't have experience working as a business analyst. It is very important for Bingpe to have a project or a couple of projects that has been niched down to this field of business analysis. Now you have that exposure, you've worked in a team, everything is properly structured, and you've actually solved a real business problem under this career path, but you're not putting it out there. Nobody would know. Nobody, if I even search for you on LinkedIn and what I am, and you become visible, I see you, but I'm not really seeing anything that says, oh, Bingpe has done this, oh, Bingpe is a problem solver, oh, Bingpe is already thinking like a leader, right? I would not really see you as the right candidate. I would not be attracted to send you a DM. Now, being visible on LinkedIn or platforms like this is not enough. Being attractive is very important. And honestly, how you become attractive, I would say this a lot, right, on this call today. You need to have projects that you worked on that solved actual business problems. That's why it's Amdari. We don't just give you projects. That's why it is backed by actual business challenges, right? That's why it's not just random and basic, because at the end of the day, what will help you stand out from the 5,000 plus professionals that are applying to the same job as yourself is when you have an actual problem that you've solved for a business. So if you don't have people that can refer you, if you don't have relationships, if you don't have reputations, how do you even bypass all of these applications? Now, bypassing all these applications is me saying that the jobs that eventually go on these job boards, they are mostly jobs that have either been, vacant in a company before they go live. Now, applying to a job board or applying via a job board rather means you applying with 5,000 plus people. Remember what I said at the start of the session. When you start applying to jobs, it's not like before, 2, 3, 5 years ago, where let's say 1,000 plus people apply to this job. Right now, you're getting like 5,000 plus people applying to the same job. You are competing against 5,000 plus people. This is not a winning strategy. It's a good, of course, you have to apply, right? Using job boards and all of that. But I'm saying that it is not a winning strategy. There is a better strategy you can use, right? Now, the reason why this is not a winning strategy is you have 1,000 plus people applying to the same job as you. And some of these people have more experience, have better exposure, have worked in big tech companies, maybe even Google, Meta. The job market has everybody. Some people even just took a gap year. Now they are back in the same job market with you who just took like maybe a course in tech, you just graduated and you're just trying to get your first job. And you skipped the phase where you're supposed to apply that knowledge by working on projects that have actual business impact, right? You've skipped it. You're just jumping straight to applying to jobs. You won't be a solid candidate. I promise you, because those other people have the track record. It's visible online. Their CV shows it. They have reference to back it up. You don't have any of this yet. Your chances of getting a job when these people are in the picture is very slim. Right, it's one of the things I also played out in my head when I took my tech course a couple of years ago, right? And I took this course in tech, and I went on LinkedIn, of course, as a developer, seeing other developers in my domain talking about Kotlin. Oh, I built this using PHP, Python, and the like. So I built this using JavaScript, Node.js. I used this building, and at that time I could only code with just 2 programming languages. And I was asking myself, oh my God, how do I get to this point? And one very important question that came to mind, and I'm really grateful that I thought that way, was if I apply to the same job as this set of people, will the recruiter pick me or they would pick them? The answer was obvious. They would pick them. They had better exposure. They had worked on more projects that made more sense, more, projects that had more business context. I only had one calculator project that was a project, right, under my course, capstone projects. Now, we all took some form of capstone project while taking courses, right? So that was what I had. It wasn't solid, it wasn't good enough. And then I had one landing page, nothing related to a business, honestly. It was just all practice projects. There is no way I can get a job with a practice project when someone else has done so much and I'm in the same job market as them, right? So they would go with these people. And I said, how do I make myself that person that is as solid as this person? Because at the end of the day, it's not that they are smarter than me, it's just that they are ready, they are prepared. You're not ready yet, right? So if you're not ready, there is no way the recruiter will take that risk because you are still high risk. So they want low risk because with low risk comes less micromanaging, less supervision. You're able to work on your own. You're able to prefer solution. You're able to think, right? Like like a leader, not you have to be walked through something, walk through how to use a tool and all of that. Let's leave that for internship phase, right? That's why internship is very important. And that's why I said it's a must have, right? Because this is even how you can convincingly ace an interview. Now, one of the best ways to now escape this losing strategy is to apply to jobs when you are the only one competing against yourself. Now, let's take a look at the new playbook that we have right now, which is getting the job and applying to the job in tech, right? The way that would make you the only person competing against yourself. Like I said, the playbook to getting a job right now has changed. And that's why the playbook to applying for you should change. Because I promise you, checking online, one thing you'd hear is the playbook has changed when it comes to how to get a job. So if getting the jobs playbook has changed, you might as well flip it from your end in terms of applying to jobs. Change the playbook. And when you change it, it works in your favor. Now, adopt these three strategies to have an edge. Gain the skill, work on business problems, not just random projects, and then start targeted outreach to recruiters. Don't just apply everywhere. I'm not saying stop applying everywhere. No, I'm saying don't just stop at that. You need to have a targeted outreach to recruiters. That was how I got my own first job in tech. I promise you. I sent a direct DM and I got the job. So please don't stop at saying I've taken the course, I've worked on a project on Kaggle. That was 2020. Right now, AI can do some mundane and basic tasks. You need to do more, right? There is a level that AI currently cannot think and cannot perform. If you're able to come up with that type of level in terms of thinking, performance, delivery, and everything, you stand out. And also outperforming every other person you're applying with. Now, in an instance, there is even a case where you can honestly just be applying and competing against yourself. And that's when you send a DM. Because what are the odds, right? You send a DM to a recruiter and you are the only one sending a DM at that point in time for that particular job title, right? I'm not saying they may not have one or two more people, but for that particular job title, the odds are very, very high. You might be the only one applying to that job, requesting for that opportunity. And the best way to do this, to make sure that you get a response, like I said, is exactly what I'll also tell you in the next couple of minutes. Now, how I want you to view the hidden job market is those roles filled through internal recommendation. So do you have anybody on the inside that can speak on your behalf? No, don't worry. It's not restricted to that even. Positions created for exceptional talent before they are even listed. Now, I said something earlier. I sent a DM to a recruiter. That was how I got my first job in tech. Now, me sending this DM, I'll show us a screenshot of that conversation. It was as far back as 2019, right? Me sending this DM to that recruiter that period was just because I was like, what's the worst that can happen? He doesn't reply. But I don't want to be that person that he will not reply to or respond to. So I said, let me look at my profile. Do I look like the person that would be responded to by this kind of person? Because trust me, I aimed so high because I wanted something that would stretch me and prepare me very well. So I wanted to work with people that are, drivers in the space, people that are already, key players in the industry. Working with such people, you would grow faster than you think or ever imagine. So if you're not within their radar, it might be very tough for you to even get noticed. So posting is not enough. Please be sure that you are within their radar. Another one is the pipeline for hiring, right? Companies pre-select talent for upcoming projects. If you are not within the radar, you will not be selected, right? Also selecting from a private database. Again, if you are not within their radar, it is going to be tricky. So everything I'm trying to say is please be visible, please engage, please comment, right? Please be visible. That's everything this session is just talking about. So if there is anything you're doing right now that does not speak to being visible, that does not speak to connecting with these people, that does not speak to engaging with these people, recruiters, founders, right? I need you to change that today, like after this session, right? And make sure that it's not just you being visible to these people. Make sure you're also attractive enough for them to respond to you when you eventually send them that DM. Because I promise you, that DM works. It works a lot, and you want to try it. Now, I won't be speaking from my own personal experience. I would also like for us to listen to somebody that tried this with Cowrie Wise, and he got the job. I'll play that video for us. Now, you don't want to find these jobs by just waiting and hoping that something will be listed on Kaggle, waiting and hoping that something will be listed on LinkedIn or read.co.uk, right? You want to position yourself to be found by these jobs and by these founders. Now, again, being within their radar. If you're not there, the chances are very slim, right? So the new game is to position. Do not just apply. Now, positioning yourself starts with asking these three questions. Who knows I exist professionally in the UK market? What visible proof of value have I created? Projects, case studies, outcomes. Please, these words might be sounding like, okay, yeah, me just putting sentences together. I promise you it's not just sentences. Projects, outcomes, actual business case studies, real business problems. It does a lot of magic when it comes to you being able to get that job, you being convincing to recruiters during an interview. Project, outcomes, case studies, metrics says a lot, right? And you can only get all of this when you now have exposure, working in a team, which is what you get with Amdari internship. You don't work alone, you don't work in isolation, right? Now, the third question I'd like you to ask yourself is, if someone searched for your role today, would you show up? Are you visible on LinkedIn? And I won't stop at that question. If you eventually show up, do you look like the person that they would send a DM? What are you posting about, right? Are you talking about, oh, I just completed a course on Udemy. I just got my PMP certification. I just completed a Google something course. Is that what you're posting? Or you're posting more like lessons learned, something you realized while solving a problem, something you encountered while working on this project, something you figured out, right, while speaking to a team member. I promise you, these little conversations, this little post goes a long way in showing you as an exposed person within the space. Now, I'm not saying posting about the courses you've taken is bad. No, I'm saying don't let that be the only thing you talk about, right? So if you're not talking in outcome, results, exposure, experience, interaction on your LinkedIn, you're not doing yourself any good, right? So it's not enough to say that you're taking a course. Now, this is one of our interns at Amdari that landed a job at Deloitte. And I promise you, during the course of the internship at Amdari, one thing we tell our interns is, we are going to make you visible on LinkedIn, but you need to do the work of being attractive. Have we impacted you with those projects, the experience, the exposure that will make you attractive? Yes, we have, because the project you work on at Amdari stands out. It's not random practice project. You're solving real business problems, right? So we've made you attractive. But are you putting this out there in form of stories, in form of lessons learned? We're not saying go post and say, maybe let's say a post from Promise goes out and it says, so in the course of my internship at Amdari, I was assigned a project to work on with my team. You don't need to say it's like an internship, no, because even Amdari does not position you as an intern. Take a look at Francis' LinkedIn. Right here it says project management consultant. We refer to every intern at Amdari as consultant, not intern at all, right? So, and you can see he started his internship in March 2025. He got a PM job in July. How did I know it's in July? Because this message came in July, right? And let's read the message. His team lead sends this message and says, my intern landed a PM job at Deloitte. We all know that Deloitte falls under the category of companies that sponsor, right? So he says, my intern landed a job at Deloitte. And then this is their conversation. He sent us the screenshot. Nwanne, which is brother in Igbo, for the non-Igbo speaking people on the call. Take a look at the rapport between the team lead and his intern, right? He says, Nwanne, I just got a call from Deloitte that the interview was successful, starting onboarding in August. To God be the glory. And then his team lead says, Nwanne, this has made my week. Congratulations, brother. Again, Nwanne is brother. Now, the intern says, now you do pass up Amdari, up Mr. Brown. One of the things that we do again is we make you visible at Amdari, but we don't stop there. We also ensure that we give you everything that will make you attractive, and we encourage you during mentorship sessions to put yourself out there. We can't collect your login details and start posting for you, can we? So we need you to post. If you don't talk about these things, nobody will know. Amdari has revamped your CV, optimized your LinkedIn to make you look like a senior level professional, because you'll be working on 5 to 6 projects in the course of this 4-month internship. So if you're working on this much project in the course of the internship, and we are calling you consultants, not even intern, right? Then why are you not putting yourself out there and telling your story like the boss that you are, like the experienced professional that you are? Because at the end of the day, the people that get this opportunity are not the smartest. They are just the people that know where to look, they know the right strategy to use, and they're applying the right way, right? Not blindly. So it's not about the smartest getting the opportunity. It's just about the people with proof of work getting the opportunity and also applying the right way. Because when you're attractive, it's easy to get the job when you eventually shoot your shot. So one thing I want you to bear in mind is, you're not getting a job yet in tech today. It's not because the jobs are not out there, right? The jobs are out there. So when you reach, so companies know they potentially need hands even before they put out a post. Sometimes it's as a result of maybe somebody underperforming within the team. So there is a gap. The minute there is a gap within a company, they are already looking for ways to fill that gap, right? So there is an opening that is not published, right, or publicized, and you don't know this. But when you are within their radar, you will come to mind, right? You will come to mind, and when you come to mind, be sure that you have a decent profile. Be sure that you also have those value that you're going to properly pitch eventually. So before that opportunity even comes knocking, please shoot your shot. Who is that person, that founder that you admire so much and you would want to work with? Or which company is that company that you would love to work in? Sometimes I tell people, it's wise sometimes to target startups. I promise you, right? It's wise to target startups and just put that message together and make sure that you have an actual business impact. I'll show us a sample message that we can use. I'm definitely showing you a sample message from the message that worked for me, from the message that worked for the person that tried out that shoots his shot to carry wise, and also, how you can also come up with something yourself. So I'll give you all of this. And like I said, if you'd love to receive the link to this slide, please fill the attendance form that my colleague is sharing, because you'll be able to go through all of this even at a later time in your free hour, your free time, or yeah. So how do you access this hidden job market, right? First things first, you need to leverage direct approach, right? You need to target companies, and then you need to build relationships above, not just within your peers. Please look beyond, right? In terms of building that relationship, and build in public. When you've gained experience, when you've acquired knowledge, when you've gained exposure, right? And you're not putting it out there, nobody will know what you can do. Nobody will know how much you can perform. So you need to sell yourself. You need to tell your story, right? Now, let's take a look at this one by one. The direct approach is the part where you shoot your shot and you connect the challenge of that company that you're trying to shoot your shot to what you've done before. So what I'm saying is, don't still shoot your shot and just send a DM. No. Know what they're doing in that company, right? What problem are they solving? How do you think you can come in? And I'll give you an instance. You can look up a company that you probably admire. You take a look at their publicly available data and also the information you have about what they do, right? Use that. Imagine yourself performing within the role or domain that you're trying to get a job in for that company. So you're a data analyst. You want to work with a particular fintech company. Already, you're thinking how you can become a financial analyst or a product analyst or sales analyst or marketing analyst. Please ensure you have projects in all of these in all of these job titles that I just mentioned. Do you have projects? Do you have data sets that you've used to solve a problem for a financial data set or for a financial related problem? Do you have data sets that you've used in solving some form of problem for a marketing type problem or a sales type problem or a product type problem, right? Maybe you're trying to see why a particular company has so much or a very high churn rate, right? Why does it churn? What's going on and all of that? Just imagine yourself working for this company. So if you don't know the job titles or the job roles that fall under your career path already, then that's you applying blindly because you've been able to niche it down. That's what I was saying earlier about niching it down, right? You've been able to niche it down. Imagine that company and the different aspects that you can play in. And please ensure that you highlight all of this. Don't just focus on one and let them know that you have the link to your portfolio. It can be your GitHub portfolio. And the beautiful thing, Amdari even has a free portfolio website where you can have every project, even your GitHub project, you can import it to Amdari, right? So Amdari has this and you can have it there. So you can share this with them. So when shooting your shot, please don't just shoot your shots based on, oh, I've done this before. No, tie it in such a way that they can already start imagining you implementing something for their company, right? So it's very important for you to bear that in mind. Then when you're also targeting these companies, you need to not just target roles, right? And make sure that the people you're sending a message is not their social media manager. Thank you very much, Busayo. Make sure you're not just sending a message to their social media manager. Please don't do that. Send a message to their founder, their CEO, their co-founders, their HR, right? Because these are the people that are discussing the gaps in the company, performance-related gaps. They are the decision makers. Before anybody in other departments would know that there is vacancy, there is a problem or something, the decision makers already have foreseen it, right? They've already started talking about it in their management meeting, in all of that. They already know that there is a gap that needs filling. So if you're not sending a DM to them and you're sending DM to the social media page of the company, it's the social media manager that will see it. And what that person cares about is somebody interested in their products or their sales. So you're saying, please, are you guys hiring? Honestly, they will read and pass. Because that's not part of their KPI. So they don't care if you're looking for a job. You looking for a job does not do anything for their KPI. You need to send a message to the founders, the people who are concerned about performance, talent, the right set of people, the team. These are the people you should DM, and they are the ones that even have the final say. Just impress one of them, and you're in already. And when you do that, please don't shoot your shots by sending a DM to just their Instagram or just their LinkedIn or just email. No, do email, do LinkedIn, and do Instagram. In fact, try Twitter because your message can be seen faster on a platform where they get less traffic, right? Your message will be seen faster on that platform where they get less traffic. So if that person is very, very, active on LinkedIn, he makes a post, he gets a lot of engagement, I promise you his DM would be messy. He would have a lot of DMs. But if he has less traffic in terms of posts and everything on Instagram, try Instagram and also do email, right? And Twitter, you can try Twitter also. So that will help you. Then I said something about not building relationship within your peers alone. Build relationships above. Network before you need help. Don't start networking when you know that you need a job. You need to nurture relationship. You need to be within their radar because by the time the opportunity will come, it will come to mind. Who knows? Maybe the minute you shoot your shot, that opportunity is even already lying somewhere, right? But they are also just looking to, or maybe waiting for the right time to put it out. But you sent a DM at the very right time and you sold yourself perfectly. And why not? The value you're talking about, everything you've done before, probably fits into the profile of somebody that they need. Please, can you hear me clearly? Gabriel says, can you increase your volume? Can anyone hear me clearly? Because Gabriel, I feel I'm projecting enough. Please, can you confirm? So Gabriel, for your sake, I will project more. All right, thank you very much, Busayo. Is it better now, Gabriel? Gabriel, you want me to be shouting? You want me to shout? Can you hear me clearly now? Please confirm, Gabriel, so I can proceed. All right. While I wait for, you can't hear me. So I think it's your network, Gabriel. Like everyone can hear me, and I'm honestly Like I'm speaking at the top of my voice right now. So do you want to leave and join back or increase the volume on your phone? Maybe that's the problem. Do you want to increase the volume? Maybe that's the problem. All right. So, but okay, thank you very much, Martin. So, as I was saying, right, you need to also make sure that you're sending them DMs before you become very desperate, right? Start building that relationship. You admire this set of, founders, these leaders, and somehow you'd love to work with them someday. Please start building that relationship. Let's say you plan on starting your internship at Amdari this November, right? I would advise that if there are people that you want to work with, already start nurturing that relationship from now. Don't wait until you're done, because one of the reasons why our interns have landed jobs 7 weeks into the internship, 2 months into the internship, 3 months in, is because they start applying early. We don't tell you to wait until your internship is over to start applying. So that's the same thing I want you to think of when nurturing a relationship. Start before you need to reach out. Start before you need that job, because at the end of the day, you'd have built a beautiful relationship that doesn't look transactional, right? But it's perfect because it will be you bringing in value and also getting something in return, right? But not too desperate and too obviously transactional. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's all transactional. I win something, you win something, but not in a desperate manner, right? But in a very casual but intentional manner as well. Then please, I've said this over and over, build in public. Don't work on something and keep it to yourself. Nobody would know about the awesome dashboard you built. Nobody would know about the security or threat intelligence related projects you worked on. Nobody would know about the projects you managed and the team you worked with as a project manager, right? Nobody would know the beautiful projects you guys brought to life if you don't build in public. So you need to make your value visible by positioning on LinkedIn, right? Not just as someone who is looking for a job, like I said, oh, I just took a course, or I just completed this. No, but you need to demonstrate something that makes you come across as somebody who thinks like a leader, right? It is very important for you to position that way. So that's why I'm urging, please build in public. Now, I'd like us to listen to Feromi, right? So how he was able to win attention and get hired by a company. His own true story, I'd really like us to listen to him. It's just about 1 minute video, right? And then what he did was he shoot his shots to carry wise, right? So let's listen to Feromi and how that played out for him. If you can't hear the audio, please give me a thumbs down. I believe you will hear it. But in case you can't hear it, just give me a thumbs down. All right, so let's just quickly listen to him.
Mom, the video is not
Yeah,
without
yeah,
sound.
I'll stop it and start sharing again. I'll stop it and start sharing. Thank you for calling my attention to that. Okay. So just give me a thumbs up if the sound is better now. So let me reload the page.
I
So
was
just give
looking for
me.
money to sponsor an event. I was on WhatsApp. It was a very terrible experience. And my phone battery used to die. So I had to go and plug my phone to ensure it did not die. And I was just scrolling through WhatsApp. And I saw that some of my friends had gone to the Rise office then as ambassadors. And I needed someone to sponsor an event. So what I did then was I just wrote to Rise Twitter DM and said, I have this plan to get you X number of students to become your users, like students that are business owners in school, to become your users. And I have the plan. However, if you want to work on this plan without me, I can share the plan with you. But if you want me to work with you on that plan, you can hire me. My first big moment in marketing was a day that Okwe sent out the notification. We timed that notification to be 5:07 p.m. I cannot forget that day on Friday. And it read, that money you're about to spend, save it. You know, it's 5 o'clock.
All right, so I just wanted us to hear the part where he said he sent the message. And one very profound thing he did by shooting his shot is he had already worked on a case study related to exactly something that they can, understand. And then he said, if you want to work on this project with me, I'm available. But if you want to work on this project without me, I'm still going to share this with you, right? So two things I picked from this is his willingness to still share what he has worked on, regardless of whether or not they wanted to work with him. And then the zeal, right? The zeal and the interest to just do this and be a part of this with them. So shooting your shot works a lot. So when you do it, you will be able to get the attention of any recruiter. Because I promise you, one thing that does is showing somebody that is driven, somebody that is passionate, somebody that is very, very intentional, right? And these are soft skills that any company would want to associate with when it comes to working with somebody, right? Everybody wants to work with somebody that has star energy, someone that's driven, that would go to whatever length to get what they want. And it translates to how they do their own jobs and their KPI and making sure that they meet, you know, their metrics and everything like that, because you're already a driven person, right? Now, this is my own story. Now, I also did something like that as far back as 2019. As you can see, the date stamp here. So I sent a message to this founder and I said, I just decided to send you a DM because I find your post inspiring and I really look forward to probably working with you. And he said, work with me, that would be nice. Please bear in mind that before I sent this message to this founder, one thing I did was to make sure that my page was already attractive enough. I posted about a Google Developers Meetup where I was one of the speakers. I would randomly post about my code. I would randomly post about my project. My bio was also reflecting who I was and what I did. And I made sure that my feed was just filled with everything like that. Because I know that after you read my message and it grabs your attention, you would go check my feed. I don't want you to go check my feed and everything you see there does not align with the picture of the person you've already created in your mind. I want you to have a perception through this message and let that perception be in alignment with what you would meet on my feed. That was what I did, right? So don't just shoot your shot without having other things to back it up with what you've posted and everything like that. So he said, work with me, that would be nice. And I said that if you don't mind. And he said, what do you do? And then I went on to say, I'm a web developer, just completed a Google digital marketing skill, just to highlight the fact that beyond being a developer, I was also somebody in marketing, right? And guess what? I got a product marketer role. I promise you, that was the role I got. So I was working as a developer freelance because this was a full-time role. And I honestly just took the job. Now, this job sponsored my relocation 7 months after working with them and consistently delivering value. And that's one thing I tell people. When you get the job, do not relent. Do not say that, oh, okay, you're in your A. You need to consistently keep proving your worth, keep proving your value, because that's how you become sought after and indispensable, right? Now, most people would also say something about getting visa sponsorship jobs. Sometimes what you need to do is get your leg in the door, and sponsoring you will become a wise business decision for them, not like a charity, because don't see yourself like a charity case. Again, that's another thing that most people that are looking for visa sponsorship would do. Oh, my visa is expiring. I'm trying to see which company would sponsor me. I promise you, when you position right, any company who is thinking or considering to sponsor you is already picturing you as a wise business decision, not as a cost, not as a charity case, because that's not how you should position. This job sponsored my relocation just 7 months in, and I honestly did not even know there was going to be such a thing as sponsorship of relocation or something. I just wanted to go from being that entry-level professional to passing the probation phase and becoming senior level and maybe even getting an increased salary. But then I got more than that, right? So it's very important to be that professional. So this was the message he sent the morning of the next day, and he was like, hi. And I said, hi, sir, how is work? He said, how are you? Are you interested in the XYZ job? And I said, I'm fine. I'm interested 100%. And he said, drop your number here. And I dropped my number. This was me a few months later, right, working with the company. Now, there are a couple of messages that are missing from here, which was where he said, oh, we actually are currently hiring for XYZ role. And I was like, I'm the one you're looking for, right? I am the one you're looking for. Imagine I didn't mention the search engine optimization, the search engine marketing strategies, and everything. I wouldn't have been able to get that product marketing role. That's him being able to tie my web development skills with my marketing exposure. And I promise you, that was what made me get the job. So I was just working as a developer for that company's freelance, but I was working full-time with this company as a product marketer. Now, this is a sample message that you can also send to a recruiter. Hi, sir. I have been following your work at XYZ company, and I really admire how you're using data to tell stories that actually move people. I recently completed a data project analyzing over 2,000 movies using the Bechdel test, exploring how gender representation impacts both audience ratings and box office performance. I found that film with balanced representation tend to blah blah blah. You're showing knowledge, you're showing exposure, you're showing the fact that you've worked on projects. Now, I would love to bring the same level of analytical storytelling and insight to your team, finding patterns others might miss and translating them into real business value. I have attached to my portfolio, my GitHub portfolio link containing the project and other projects as well as the link to my Tableau dashboard. I'm open to a conversation at your earliest convenience. Best regards. Please make sure that when you're shooting your shot, you're tying the business value, the business impact, and outcome to what they do in their company. It is easy for them to start picturing themselves and seeing how you would deliver that same level of value to them, right? So you need to bear that in mind. Now, it is also very important to approach recruiters with evidence of outcome. Don't shoot your shot without having evidence of outcome. That's why the message I drafted earlier works perfectly. And this is another example that you can try. I recently built a Power BI dashboard that helped a small business here in the UK track revenue sources and identify cost leaks. I'm now open to applying this kind of analytical work to your company. Please tie everything you're sending to that recruiter to outcomes and not just availability, like, oh, I'm open to work, oh, I'm looking for a job, right? Now take a look at how the internship at Amdari and the proof of work that these guys have done has helped them to get a job. Here's an example. Hi, Jennifer. This message was sent to one of the specialists at Amdari. That's one of the team leads that you will get to work with. Because yes, during your internship, you won't be working alone or in isolation. You'll be working with a team, right? And a team lead will be there to work with you, guide you, and support you. So this person's team lead is Jennifer, and she says, hi, Jennifer. I just wanted to thank you and the Amdari team for the amazing work you guys are doing. May God bless you all. Guess what? I just got a job, right? This is another one. I started getting interviews after joining Amdari. The CV template really helped me. Now, of course, because the CV template does not just have random projects that you cannot back up. Number one, it has projects that are actual business problems that you have solved, right? And you have an outcome to it, right? Now, you're also going into that interview being able to defend everything you've stated on your CV because you lived that reality. It was not made up. You're not lying. So when people tell me that, oh, Omomi, you said you guys revamp CVs at Amdari, but I've done quite a number of, I've done this with some other companies. They've revamped my CV a couple of times. What's going to make Amdari different? What's the differentiator? The fact that we give you the experience before revamping your CV. For us at Amdari, you being revamped mindset-wise, strategy-wise, in terms of applying to jobs, and also skill mastery level-wise, and also competence-wise, is the one thing that we prioritize. We make you competent, we make you the master of your subject or your domain by giving you real business problems to solve, not just practice projects. Now, that real business problem that you solve is what we put on your CV. So what we are putting on your CV is not something random because, oh, we know what the ATS wants to see. Oh, we know what the recruiters want to see. No, we make sure that you have that. The impact is within you. You're self-sufficient. You can ace an interview because we also prep you for interviews every Thursday. We have an interview prep session at Amdari every Thursday. So this prep session helps you become that professional that is ready even before that opportunity, that job comes. Because imagine having an interview prep session every Thursday. And the interview prep session is not just, oh, instructional. So, Olakule, this is how you ace an interview. Oguchi, this is how you ace no. It's mock interview. It's a role play. So Aisha can be on the hot seat and she's interviewed, right? Or Ogene Kome can be on the hot seat and is being interviewed. So it's not like everything is theoretical. We are just teaching you. This is how to ace an interview as a cybersecurity analyst. This is how to ace an interview as a business analyst. No, we make sure you experience it. You're on the hot seat. You are interviewed. If you do well, you get a feedback that makes you know that you're job ready. If you don't do well, you get a constructive feedback that lets you know the areas that you need to improve on. That's just how simple it is. Now, the flywheel strategy that I would like you to adopt, right, like I said earlier, is to connect with recruiters or founders, to engage with them, be visible, show value when you shoot your shot, right? What have you done before? What business problem have you? This is the language they understand. So you need to speak to them in this language. Then you need to stay within their radar. Please stay visible. Keep posting. Don't say that you posted last month, 2 months ago. Please keep posting and keep sending them DMs, not spamming their DMs or emails, of course, right? For let's say you work on a fresh new project, you can share it with them. Maybe every month you can share something you worked on, something. You're not being annoying, right? You're just being very passionate about what you do, and you have a goal and you want to achieve that goal. So what they would see is just somebody that is passionate and driven, right? That's what they would see. So you also, as long as you're within the radar of this category of people, it's easy for you to be referred. So the founder can say, oh, I have somebody, I think we should bring him in, right? When you also share the mini project outcomes that you have and all of that, it is also something that stands out for you on your CV and also makes you visible on LinkedIn. So you need to stay on the radar of these founders, right? Do monthly check-ins. You're not just saying, hi, I said I should greet you, sir. No. Hi, how is family? How is work? No. Yes, you would, of course, greet them, know how they're doing and faring, and ensure that the next thing is just share an update. Just share an update. Oh, I recently worked on a project. I saw a post you made about this and that. And I actually recently worked on a project that, please just tie something to something that would interest them. And the best way to catch their interest is when they make a post and you're able to use that, or maybe something within the industry that they play in, or something their company is currently working on. Again, using publicly available data, right? So you can use any of that. Now, the 1% mindset shift that I would like you to have is to stop thinking like the job seeker and start thinking and acting like the solution provider. That was why I said earlier, when you're looking for a job, honestly, they're not doing you a favor. It's a win-win for everybody. If I am hiring right now, and Taufik happens to be a perfect candidate, super talented, he has shown me how he has done this before in a particular company, the fact that he was even awarded Staff of the Month, the fact that he was able to spot a problem, and all of those little stories that would make me know that Taufik is actually very smart, intelligent, and a star at what he does, right? I would want to have Taufik on my team. It's a win for me to have a very intelligent and knowledgeable person on my team, and it's a win for Taufik because he's getting a job, he's getting paid and all that. So nobody's doing you a favor. So you need to position as a problem solver or solution provider, not a job seeker. So publish insights from your project, even a LinkedIn post about lessons you've learned, something you figured out, something you realized, something you were exposed to while interacting with a team member. Please ensure that this forms the base of your post. Like I said, you don't have to say, oh, while doing my internship. No, you can. Storytelling can be in different ways and from different points of views and using different angles, right? So make sure that your work speaks, so it makes you visible, right? So when your work speaks, you become very visible. Now, be the person that companies create roles for, not the one who just applies, please, right? The product marketing role I told you I got, I promise you it was not an opening. It was not an opening. He just saw it as, okay, having this kind of person on the team would be perfect. There was no opening for that. That role did not exist in that company. I promise you it didn't exist. If I did not shoot my shot, and some people, let me now bust your brain, right? Some people would like you so much that they want to work with you. So even if it means creating something that would make you work out, they will create it. And I really like this person's energy. I think he can come in as this. I really like this person's energy. They would look for a role. It might be a gap, it might not be a gap, but it might just be a nice spot. Like, okay, I would really like to work with this kind of person, and you will be brought on board. Send that DM to that recruiter or that founder, not the social media page. It's the social media manager that would see it. So now what makes you very attractive after you are visible is what I would like us to talk about. Like I said, Amdari will make you visible during your internship, but you need to be attractive. Have we given you that thing that will make you attractive? Yes. You have the experience, you have the exposure, you've solved real business problems, but are you putting it out? Will they see that about you when they search for you? No. So if it's a no, then you have some work to do. If you worked on projects, that's real business problems, you've solved that problem, post it. You've learned how to present deliverables and ROIs clearly. There is something you've learned from that, post it. You now have UK reference letter from a UK employer, apply to that job, because you will be able to be solid, and you have that person vouching for you for the work you've done and for everything you've done. So please make sure that you're out there and you're putting yourself in such a way that you are positioning right and being attractive to those recruiters, right? So that's one thing I would really, really advise. So when you have a real story, then you become convincing. Oh, in my last place of work, I supported a UK-based company in streamlining their data reporting system with this, blah, 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 and it improved this, the revenue or the reporting speed by so percentage. So you're either saving money or making money, right? Now, this is an instance of where one of our interns also had a story like that to share. And you can see he sent this message to his teammate. He said, "Hi, Emeka. I just wanted to officially let you know that I have landed a data analyst role within the civil service, and it's a level promotion too. I was asked to prepare a presentation on any data analysis project I edited and submitted our first project. Saved me a lot of time and gave me confidence. I also spoke about the SQL project when they asked about data acquisition. Thanks so much for your mentorship, Emeka. Take your flowers." And Emeka, he simply says, "I am proud, Jerry. Well done. You are one of the leading team members." The super active interns at Amdari tend to get a job 7 weeks in, 8 weeks in, or even 3 months down the line. So Jerry got a job 2 months into the internship, right? That's one thing I want to share with us. And why did he get the job? Because he's prepared. He had a project that he just edited and submitted, one of the projects he worked on at Amdari. And then he also had a lot to talk about as they asked him more questions. So when you have things that you've done, businesses you've impacted, you can see he said, "I talked about the SQL project when they asked about data acquisition," right? So when you have stories to share and all of those experiences to talk about, it makes you that candidate that is convincing. So you need to be visible, and then you need to be credible. That makes that opportunity perfect for you because you get the job. So the more you showcase your work, the less you chase the roles, because now recruiters would either be looking for a project manager on LinkedIn, and they're already spotting Blessing. Oh, they're looking for a business analyst, they're already spotting Victoria, right? So that's just what I'm trying to share. Now take a look at this person. She's one of our interns at Amdari. Her name is Betty, and she's done now, by the way. And right here you can see that it says she started with us in January. She got a job already. She resumed in May, but she got the job in April. The same year. That's 4 months. She got the same job title that she interned under. So she interned as an IT project manager, and she got a job as an IT business project manager, right? So Amdari really, really sets you up for success, like I mentioned. Now this is another intern that got a job. So she got a job as a GRC analyst. And I remember when I interviewed her and I had a conversation with her, she said that the company she applied to was hearing about GRC for the first time, to be very honest. Like they've never really heard about it. What they were hiring her for was related to data protection and all that. But then she shared a couple of, instances that, in fact, going beyond all of that, using her GRC knowledge can help them have better protected data and all that. And the recruiters were like, "I'm just hearing about GRC for the first time. I think I'd like to learn more about it," right? So they hired her, and that was the interview I had with her. So how do you get started? you need to choose a career path that employers are hiring for. I said it earlier that it doesn't now stop there. You're taking the course. You all introduced yourself at the start of this session and you're saying, oh, I'm taking BA course, PM course, data analytics course, and all that. Please make sure that you have real world exposure. Have a solid foundation. Don't be that candidate that has just worked on projects and just taken a course, but no business problem has been solved. Amdari allows you to work with a team of stakeholders, client feedback, you receive it, you work on real business problems. You use real tools, or rather, you use industry relevant tools, solve real problems, and you work with a collaborative team, not in isolation. And then you have 4 months of internship with us at Amdari, and it comes with reference letter. And like I said earlier, right, this reference letter is to back up your claim of experience and exposure. And at the end of the day, you having a reference letter also makes you solid, right? So the career paths, according to the World Economic Forum, that are currently in high demand, like I said, are the career paths that Amdari is also giving you work experience in, like data analytics, data science, data engineering, business analysis, and cybersecurity, which we've broken down into SOC, ethical hacking, and GRC. So you're going to be gaining experience working in all these career paths. Now, these are career paths that are in high demand, and recruiters will keep hiring for them even as far as 2030, right? They are future-proof, and there is little to no aspect of this career path that AI can replace. For example, it's very hard for AI to replace a very large aspect of cybersecurity. Yes, for data analytics, there are little parts that you can automate, right? But there are aspects of it that you have to be the human involved, not AI replacing or taking your place and all. And I said something at the start of this session. I'll be sharing this sheet that has a list of companies that are currently sponsoring in the UK. So you can see that the link to the sheet is attached to this slide. So if you'd love to receive this link, please fill the attendance form that my colleague has been dropping. He still dropped it a few minutes ago. Please fill it. So I'll be taking questions in the next few minutes as we're rounding up shortly, right? But before we round up, I'd also like to let you know that Amdari website has a list of job boards that are visa sponsorship jobs. We pay for the visa sponsorship platform, so we can fetch jobs from there every month, right? So every day. So we fetch these visa sponsorship jobs so that you can also have access to visa sponsoring companies and apply to them by just clicking on the apply to job link, and straight you're redirected to where you can just apply. So every intern, it's only open to our interns at Amdari. So every intern has access to this particular job board. So if you'd like to have access, please click on the link that my colleague has dropped in the chat. Now, I would like us to do a quick exercise, please, right? Please indulge me. It's always very interesting and exciting. It's going to take us just 1 minute to perform this exercise. I want to know how job ready you are. Remember what I said earlier. It is one thing to take a course. It's another thing to really be job ready. At the end of the day, we apply to jobs. We don't get a fallback. We don't get interview invite. Or we get interview invites, but we don't get the job. And we wonder, oh, what's going on, right? I've been applying, I've taken the course. Why am I not getting the job? It is because you are not job ready. So now let's take a look at how job ready you are. I've just dropped the link to take the, okay, I would also send the link to that Billygram. So I'd like us to click on this link so we can take this job assessment test real quick, right? So we'll be done in like 1 minute. So once you click on that link I shared with you, you'd get redirected to this page you see on my screen. Just click on start my free assessment. You will see your score by the end of this assessment. We're just answering about 5-6 questions, right? So you'd see your results at the end of this. So that would make you know how job ready you are. So once you click on that button, click on start assessment, please answer every question truthfully. So the first question is asking if you've taken a tech course. Remember I asked us this question earlier. So click on yes, you've taken a course. Click on no if you've not taken a course, right? So click on yes if you have. So right here, which of these career paths have you taken a course in? Is it data analytics, SOC, and all of that? Select the one that applies to you, right? Now, how many projects are currently in your portfolio? Select it. Is it 5 to 10? Is it 1 to 5? Is it 0? Select it. Do you have a professional portfolio showcasing your work? It can be Notion, it can be GitHub. Do you have any? If no, select no. Now, On a scale of 1 to 5, how confident are you that your CV matches job descriptions in your field? Click on how confident you are. Please bear in mind that you'll be sharing your score with me once you're done. You'll get your score as soon as we are done. So I'd like you to share your score with me. Now, in your CV, is your CV keyword optimized for applicant tracking system? That's the ATS. Click on yes and go to the next, right? Now, do you have an optimized LinkedIn profile? If it's a yes, click it. If it's a no, select. Do recruiters reach out to you on LinkedIn? Is it often? Is it sometimes? Is it never? Then do you have one professional organizational reference in your profession? So that means, do you have yes? On the scale of 1 to 5, how confident you are in applying that skill? Select the one that applies to you. Then this is the last question. Do you know how to use the STAR approach? Select it. On a scale of 1 to 5, select it and submit your form, right? Once you submit your form, click on get my results, right? And then type your name, your email address, and your phone number, and select your country of residence, and then click on get my result. Now let's take a look at my result. I'd like you to tell me your score in the chat, please, okay? So you can see that my score is 34%. So what score did you get? I dropped the link to take part in this assessment. Let me drop it again. So I'd like people to drop the score that they received, right? So let me see the score you got in the chat. Okay, so let's know how job ready you are. So keep it coming and type in the chat. Let's see what people scored. I got a 34. Of course, I know I was just picking anything and anything. So I'd like to know what we scored. So if you're done taking the assessment, please, I know maybe you were following or just watching as I was doing it, but I'd like you to also take this assessment. Once you get your score, share with me. I have sent you the link in the chat to taking the assessment test, right? So is it that people were not taking this assessment while I was doing it? Because I'm yet to see anybody's score, right? Were we not taking it while I was on it? So I would like us to now talk about how you can gain experience in these fields that recruiters are hiring for. Because if you're struggling to land a job, then what exactly is the problem? Obviously, it is because of lack of experience, right? It is because of lack of experience, and that's why we would look for how you can get it. So Vivian scored 43%. That's not so bad, Vivian. So that means there is still work to be done, right? So just take a look at the recommendations, and I'd like you to take the necessary action as recommended. You can go back to that page when we are done. Trust me, but I mean, just make sure you fill the attendance form also, and we would ensure that we reach out to you to see how we can guide you to becoming that person that gains the experience and lands the job. So Dr. Info TV, the link is actually opening. That's the same link that Vivian used. So please keep the score coming. Grace scored 24. Wow. So how do we do it at Amdari to help you gain experience and land a job? I said this earlier. We make sure that the technical skill you've taken a course in, we make you a master in that field by giving you actual exposure to working on real projects that has real business challenge, not random, right? And then we give you soft skills like revamping your CV, optimizing your LinkedIn, giving you interview prep sessions every Thursday. And you get the one-on-one interview session when you have an interview coming up. So yes, you can have the one that is general, and you'll have the one that's one-on-one. Now, a lot of people also wonder and ask, after my internship with Amdari, is that all? Right? That's not all. Even after your internship at Amdari, you can reach out to us and say, oh, I have an interview coming up. Can you prep me? Yes, we will prep you. Oh, I would like to have a reference letter. In fact, 2 years down the line, we will give you a reference letter, even though you've been done with your internship months ago. Now, if you're coming on board as a data analyst at Amdari, what are the career paths that you will get to? What are the job titles and the tools that you get to intern under? Now, you use tools like Power BI to solve real problems, SQL, Excel, Tableau, to mention a few, to solve real problems, not random problems. And on some projects, you're the product analyst. On another project, right? You're the supply chain analyst. On another project, you're the logistics analyst. On another project, you're an operations analyst, right? So it goes on and on. The same thing applies to data scientists. On one project, you're the machine learning engineer. On another project, you're the quantitative analyst. On another project, you're working as a marketing analyst or marketing research analyst or NLP developer or big data analyst or forecasting analyst, right? And you'd work with tools like SQL, Excel, Azure, GCP, Tableau, Python, to mention a few. And then as a data engineer interning at Amdari, on some projects, you work as a BI engineer or big data engineer or ETL developer or cloud engineer, either under AWS, Azure, or GCP, right? If you're coming in as a business analyst, on some projects, you get to work as a business analyst, operations analyst, requirements analyst, systems analyst, process analyst, to mention a few, right? And you'd use tools like SQL, Power BI. You'll be data driven. As a business analyst at Amdari, you will be data driven. So you'll be working with Power BI, Excel, SQL, Jira, Draw.io, Notion, to mention a few. As a project manager, you also, work as a Scrum Master, Project Scrum Master, Agile Project Manager, Agile Coach, Technical Scrum Master, IT Project Manager, to mention a few. And you'd work with tools like, Notion, You'd work with tools like Notion, Microsoft Project, Confluence, ClickUp, again, to mention a few. So for cybersecurity now, if you're coming in as a SOC analyst, you'll be working as a SIEM engineer, digital forensics analyst, security analyst, SOAR analyst, threat intelligence analyst, to mention a few. And you'll be using tools like Splunk, Wireshark, Nessus, Autopsy, etc. Ethical hacker, you'll be working as a ethical hacker, white hat hacker, security consultant, cybersecurity consultant, red team operator, etc. And you use tools like Kali Linux, Nito, Nmap, Metasploit, Burp Suite, Wireshark, etc. And for GRC, you will be working with tools like OpenGRC, Excel, Linux, and just to mention a few things, right? So these are more people that have gotten jobs in the course of the internship at Amdari that I've interviewed. So, and this is also an example of, how we give you reference letter. So if you take a look at my screen right here, you would see, okay, so I see more people have taken the test. So Kingsley scored 28%, Samuel scored 63%. That's a good score. Howard scored 74. That's a beautiful score. Not perfect, but beautiful. Kayode, how much does data analytics? Okay, I'll get to that, Kayode. And it's not a training, it's an internship, right? It's an internship. Melinda, could that be network? Taufik scored 29. Taufik, there's work to be done. Oh, we have two Taufiks on the call. Taufik Lasisi scored 28. Wow. Please, what are the projects and tools you cover on that? Yes, I hope I've covered that for you in VC. Please give me a thumbs up. Have I covered it? I'll talk about projects subsequently. I'll get to projects. But I've talked about tools. You saw it, right? So this is how we give you reference. Lois 37. Lois, there's work to be done. So Olinka has nominated you to provide an employment reference for the application to Healthcare Island. And we got this person that said, the above named has been offered a position as a systems analyst with our company and has provided your details as a referee. These are ways that people are getting, jobs, because we also provide you with reference. Now, I would like us to listen to Tony real quick, right? Now, Tony said something, and would listen to Tony for just like 30 seconds, thereabouts, right? We'll listen to Tony for just like 30 seconds. Now, Tony shared a story of how she was one of the two last people standing in an interview, and she got the job because, according to the recruiter, her reference was airtight. Her reference was airtight, and let's listen to Tony here. Now, these are different people that have gotten jobs and I have interviewed, but let's just listen to Tony real quick. Please make sure you let me know if you can't hear anything. Just give me a thumbs down if you're unable to hear anything by the time I play Tony's video. So why is it not coming up? That's weird. Give me a few seconds. Should be coming up. Okay, I think it's this page that has a problem. So let me open it up on another browser. Let's open it up here. So if it doesn't come up right now, I'll go back to just talking, and I'll come back to it. I just really want you to hear from Toyi and how she just shared the experience of the reference letter helping her get the job. So just listen for like 20 seconds, not even 30 seconds. Try to forward this. Okay, so it seems to be freezing too much. So let me just close that page. Let me close the page. Seems like Google Drive is acting weird, right? So I'll come back to that. We'll still listen to her. So these are just more people that have gotten jobs and how the reference has helped. And what has helped them is they work on real projects with real teams, and they have access to actual mentors, and they also get to work in a team, cross-functional team. They got reference letter, and they got visible on LinkedIn, right? So these are things that helped them. Now, if you'd love to jump on this internship program at Amdari that has been setting our intent up for success in terms of helping them get jobs, please give me a thumbs up. You want to be a part of the next cohort of this internship program at Amdari, right? Please give me a thumbs up. Okay, Austin, thank you very much. Austin, I see your message. You get to that. Adetula Uluasheli, thank you very much. Amazing. So, Oladiro. Okay, perfect. Okay, Lois, yes. I'll take your question. I'll be taking questions right now. So, like I said earlier, right, the next cohort is starting on the 8th of November. And for everybody that is on this call today, you are actually in luck because we're running a discount that allows you to pay £299 instead of £500. And you get to pay in 3 installments. Remember, I said this internship is beyond just working on projects or real business problems. It is us giving you interview prep sessions, revamping your CV, optimizing your LinkedIn, and also giving you reference letters. So there is a lot that comes with this internship. So like I said earlier, right, we're running a discount that allows you to pay £299 instead of £500. So you're saving 40%, and you get to pay in 3 installments. Now, how do you secure your spot? Bear in mind that this discount is limited. We've been running this discount since last week, and today is the last day because we're closing it off in the next 24 hours. So that's between now and tomorrow, 12 a.m. We're going to be closing the discount, right? So if you'd love to take advantage of this discount, it is very easy. I'll drop the link right now. So you can even enroll on this call if you'd like to do that. So I'll drop the link right now for you to take advantage of the discount. So you pay in 3 installments. Okay, my colleague has also dropped the link. So I'll take questions immediately I am done, right? So I would, okay, NWBC, you're already registered for November, right? And yes, 100%, you're getting the experience. Did you enroll for November? So yes, as I was saying, right? Okay, perfect. So you're starting in a few weeks' time. So once you click on that link I shared, you will get redirected to this page you see on my screen. Please ensure you scroll down, right? Like I said, you can choose to enroll on the call or even immediately after the call. So scroll down and select any program. It's the same pricing for all of the programs, the same duration and the same payment plan, 3 installments. The same discount applies to all. So just scroll down and select secure your internship to secure your internship, right? So once you do that, you will get redirected to the page where you can actually see a breakdown of your payment. So if you pay £99 today, you get to pay £99 on the 25th of November, and then you pay your next £99 on the 25th of December. That's Christmas Day. So yeah, you get to pay your installments like that, right? So this is it right here on my screen. So let's say you click on this, that means you want to make one-time payment. But if you click on this second option, that means you want to make 2-time payments. And if you click on this third option, that means you want to do 3 monthly payments. So let's say you select the 3 monthly payment option. Click on this and you are redirected to see a breakdown of your payments. So paying today means you pay next month and then you pay in December. 3 installments, 99.67 per installment. Click on proceed. Once you do that, you will get redirected to this page. Just type your name, email address, phone number, and click on proceed. Once you click on proceed, you'll be prompted to fill your card details. The minute you're done filling your card details, you will be redirected to fill this form. This is the enrollment form. It is very important for you to fill this enrollment form because this is how we get to send you your internship onboarding email. So fill the form with your name. It's very self-explanatory. Name, location, select the program you want to enroll for. That's for the internship. Just select the program. Then upload your payment receipt. Type the name on the account you use in paying. Read the terms and conditions and click on yes. You've read it, right? Scroll down. How did you find out about Amdari? LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, wherever you found out about us, select it and select 4 months right here. Once you do that, when do you intend to start? 8th of November, because it's, what better time to start than yesterday, right? Then what influenced your decision? Type it. Which of our sessions influence your decision also? By virtue of being on this call today, just select Saturday Info Session as the session that influenced your decision. Click on submit and your enrollment is successful. I will take questions right now. So I see a couple of hands raised. So let me just take a look at the comment section first before I come back here. Just a minute. So I see Oludare's hand is up. I see Blessings hand up also. So we have a message from Melinda. I would be interested in joining Q1 of 2026. And what plan can be made for that? Okay, so Q1, if it's January, you can already secure your spot. You can still use this discount to apply for that period, right? But it's not going to be available from next month. That's this discount. So if you want to use this discount, Melinda, you can use it to secure your spot. In fact, we have people that secured their spot for January and they paid as far back as last week, 2 weeks ago, and all of that. So you can actually do that also, Melinda. So Austin says, so yeah, I have already, okay, yeah, I think I saw that, yeah. Howard says, I'm fully interested. Okay, Howard, this is the link for you to secure your spot. Please just go through the way that I just demoed it for you to secure your spot. Once you're done, ensure you fill the form and you can also let me know on the call once you're done. Then Kayode says, how much please? Kayode, I mentioned it already. It is £299, right? We're running a discount that's closing tomorrow. It allows you to pay £99 every month for 3 months. So you can break it down in 3 installments, right? But the total, because of the discount, is £299, right? Martin says, I've registered too, but I will be starting in December. That's perfect, Martin. That's totally fine. All right. So if any other person has a question and they want to type instead of raising their hand, you can let me know. Is the link a hyperlink? No, let me drop it. I just dropped it now. Melinda, I just dropped it in the chat. Just check the chat. Can you see? Just click on it, right? But we'll still send out emails. My fund will be available by December. Okay. The discount will be closed by then, sadly, Shedrack. Yeah. All right. The discount will be closed, but enrollment will still be open. But it's just for the sake of the discount, right? And you can secure your spot with £99. Just £99. You can do that. Hi, Oludare. Let me start taking questions right now from people that want to raise their hand. I hope you can unmute yourself. Hi, Oludare. Can you unmute? Hope Olumide, please let's Oludare unmute. Please give people the ability to unmute themselves. Can you unmute now, Oludare? I have no tech background. How do I start? So, Adetutu, by tech background, you mean you've not taken any course, right? If that's what you mean, we will recommend our sister company for you to take a course with them, right? Because this internship is perfect for you if you've taken a course. Yes, we have crash courses. Yes, we support you. We still help you get trainings and everything like that. But it's very, very advisable for you to have a foundational knowledge, right? A foundational knowledge, like not experience, please, no, but just have you taken a course, even if it's on YouTube, Udemy, Coursera, even if it's a foundational basic course, this internship is still good for you. When I went in for my internship, I could only code in 2 programming languages and I wasn't proficient. I could not even build a mobile responsive website, right? So, okay, I think people can. Yeah. Hi, Oludare, can you speak? Hello, Oludare. You can actually proceed to speaking. I can see, okay, Darius' hand is dropped. Hi, Jacqueline. Let me proceed to Jacqueline.
Hello, good evening. So I'm already with you guys, but I subscribed for 3 months. I think I joined in August. I want to continue. I want to know whether I'm entitled to the discount.
Okay. Yes, you are entitled to the discount 100%, right? And I'm so glad that you want to continue. Guys, this is just proof of, the quality that you get in the program at the end of the day. So, Jacqueline, actually, yes, you can definitely get, you can benefit from this discount. I just dropped the link right now. So,
Okay.
but like I said, yeah, just click on the link and you can definitely subscribe.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jacqueline.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, Lois.
Hi, good evening. So my question is, I saw the LinkedIn optimization. So do you use Dari, like is it a company, is it a recognized company here in the UK? And is it accepted? Unlike others that use something else, like a different name altogether, right? So is Amdari just for the training part or the consulting part, or is it a proper company that's recognized?
I work with Amdari, Lois. I work with Amdari. So on your own, you're also working with Amdari. But as a consultant, so it's like you're working with the consulting arm of Amdari. So we know you're coming in as an intern, but we don't position you like that on your CV, on your if I apply to a job right now in the job market, my CV is carrying Amdari, yours is carrying Amdari. I work with Amdari, right? So Amdari is recognized or registered in the UK and also Canada, right? So that's 100% how that works out. Does that answer your question?
Okay, yeah, because I was just worried, like, okay, hope recruiters, because there's some other ones, and their review was not good. Some people said, oh, it's just some sort of training, they just collect people's money and give them reference, So I'm just scared that trying to, yeah.
Yeah, so Amdari is not a training company, right? Amdari is an internship platform. So, and the way we also position you is as a professional, not as an intern. So that standard is there surrounding Amdari already, right?
Okay, now thank you. My second question is for someone who does not have any experience at all. You mentioned your sister company. So what is it something that you tell us, please?
Okay. Yeah, so our sister company is actually a training company, right? So Amdari helps you with internship. Our sister company is Tenalytics. They help you with taking a course. So let's say you've not taken any course at all, right? Then we kind of recommend you to take a course with them. But if you've taken a course, you don't need to, because most people would confuse it and say, but I've forgotten things I've learned. Oh, it's been 2 years, it's been 1 year. We have crash course on Amdari, right? Which I'll show us right now. We have crash course on Amdari that helps you to also get very familiar with whatever it is you've forgotten, or even if it's something you've not learned before, like a tool, you've never used it before, you've never, you can definitely use that for that purpose. So, but yeah, our sister company is a training company, Amdari is an internship company. So let me show us what's it called? It's like the crash course page.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry,
do you have another question?
Yeah, my last question. So does it cover, is it the same cost? Does it cover the same for both training and the internship? Or we have to pay differently for it?
Okay, so when you speak with them at Tenalytics, they have a package that covers with internship, and they have the package that doesn't cover internship. It's just to give people the option of combining internship with their training or just doing training. So we have a lot of people that combine the training with the internship.
Sorry, that's not clear to me. Like,
okay,
so do we?
So
if
when
we go
you
to them, will they still refer us back to you, or do we just do the work like the training and the internship, or we still have to come back to Amdari for the training for the internship after the training?
So,
you understand the question?
I get your question. So yes, that was what I answered. I said when you go to them for the training, right? They still have a package that covers internship, which means they will redirect you back to us. But you'd have paid to cover for internship. But you can choose to just pay to cover for training. that means they won't bother bringing you to Amdari. But when you pay for your training to cover for internship, they would redirect you to Amdari, then you don't have to pay Amdari for internship.
Okay,
Do you get
okay.
it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Okay, so I just wanted us to quickly hear from Lois because I saw that she had been raising her hand. That's why I didn't say, okay, let's hear from Jacqueline. So hi, Jacqueline. Are you still here with us? Would like to, know how the experience has been with Amdari ever since enrolling. Is Jacqueline still here with us? I think Jacqueline has dropped off. I think Jacqueline has dropped off. Okay. Because I wanted us to just quickly hear from Lois before we speak to Jacqueline. I think she dropped off. Okay. All right. Hi, Grace. So this is the Learn platform, Lois, right? And also Matilda, let me be sure, is it Melinda? Let me be sure I'm not mispronounced. Melinda, yes. So I promise you, one of the major things we've gotten from most of our interns at Amdari is whenever they choose to extend, it's always because the experience of course I won't resubscribe for something that's not worth my time, money, effort, and everything like that, right? So that's always the good side of this internship program at Amdari. So yes, but I wish she was still on the call though. I just wanted to quickly speak to Lois before we hear from her. Hi Grace, please you can unmute yourself.
Hello,
So I'll
can
be
you hear
taking
me?
about 2 more questions after Grace, and we will be
Hello?
dropping off. But if you, yeah, I can hear you, Grace. Just give me a minute, please. So I said I'll be taking 2 more questions after Grace. So if you have questions for me, you can raise your hand. But if I'm unable to answer all your questions today, please feel free to book a clarity call with us. My colleague will drop the link in the chat so that we can also hear quickly so that we can speak to me or my colleague any time of the week, right? So we're available to speak to you anytime Mondays to Fridays, 1 p.m. or 8 p.m. in case you have further questions. Now, like I said, for those that are already enrolling, please do not forget to fill the enrollment form. It is very, very important and necessary, right? It is very important and necessary to fill the enrollment form. That's how we get to send you the internship details. And the enrollment is closing. That's the discount is closing by tomorrow. We go back to the old price from Monday, right? So if you'd love to secure your spot, please do so. Hi, Grace.
Hi, thanks for the clarification. So I've got 2 questions. The first is just a bit more details about what Louise had already asked. And that's the fund we're paying now, is it $299 to Amdari? Is that just for the internship or does it also cover the training? Do you got what I mean?
Okay. Yes. Okay, so are you saying you've not taken a course at all, Grace?
No. I'm just hearing about this for the first time, so I'm coming on here. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the $299 is not their own training fee. You would have to speak to them would share your details with them, no doubt, right? Would share your details with them. So you speak to them on how you can get started, and they would let you know what the training fee is. So from there, you can also choose to have the internship covered. So they have a different fee for if you want to intern, and they have a separate fee for when it's just training you want. Does that answer your question?
Right. So how it works is you have to go through Analytics first before you come back to Amdari.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Thank you for that. And then the second thing, perhaps I have to also go to Analytics for these, but just to put it out there. So if you're transitioning and you're not sure or it's confusing, so I've tried to go through to read about data engineering, cybersecurity, data science, and you're just not sure. Do you help to establish that level of clarity, or how exactly do you help? Yeah.
Okay, so they also have sessions over there at Analytics that would help you to know which career path exactly to go with. So let's say you wanted to start with the internship. Let's say you've taken a course and what you want to do right now is the internship, and you're caught between either business analysis and data analytics because you've taken a course in both, but you're confused as to which of them you should gain experience in, right? So what I typically advise here is go with the career path that's kind of aligns with your personality more, or that you're very much interested in. Now, personality, because some people are back-end people. If you're a back-end person, honestly, anything that will put you in forefront of presentation and all of that, you want to stay away from it. So I tell people, if you love backend a lot, data engineering would be nice for you. If you love to speak to people, present and all of that, data analytics, because you would have to present your dashboard, tell stories of why this data is like this, or why this is the historical data and why the performance is like this, right? So that's another thing. So you need to take a look at that personality trait of yours and how, you know, it's aligned to the career path, so that you don't pick a career path that would end up becoming boring for you just because you don't really enjoy it, right? Not because you're not smart or good at it, but you don't enjoy it, so you're bored. And when you're not enjoying that career path, you don't thrive as much because you're not pushing yourself, you're not excited about everything regarding that career path. So I would personally always advise that, okay, when it comes to picking a career path, please go with the one that aligns with you. And I always suggest watching a day in my life video of professionals and also reading through articles on day-to-day of a data scientist, data analyst, depending on the career path that you are interested in, right? So, but if it's about picking based on which one recruiters are hiring for, I promise you, recruiters are hiring so much for all of the career paths, all of them, right? Yes, some of them have more entry-level roles than others, but recruiters are hiring so much for all of these career paths. So you're already in the right, you know, place if you're taking any of these 8. But then again, make sure that you picking a specific one is based on personal interest, career goal, and where you see yourself, not because, okay, they said this one has more money or they said this one has more. I know we're doing all of this because we want to earn more money, increase our earning power, no doubt about that. But there are already career paths that are, you know, paying so well. So like I said, you're already making a good decision by picking any of them, but just make sure that the one that you're not being specific with is based on, you know, your career goals and your interests. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Great. All right, thank you. Okay, so I think we have more hands raised. So like I said, I'm only taking 2 more questions, right? But let's see.